Sound effects.
Trademark stuff. Everybody be quiet. Oh yeah, hopefully not on YouTube. Oh no.
Up in smoke.
And then how do we?
And then did you get the line here?
Just
Yeah.
down.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
The Kraken originates from Scandinavia folklore, particularly Norwegian and Icelandic seafaring legends. And the earliest written reference to the Kraken was in 1180, written by King Sverre of Norway. This is him. In which he describes the Kraken haunting the waters surrounding Norway, Iceland, and Greenland, and being enormous, which as large as an island and capable of sinking ships.
That's right.
So these sightings were most likely that of the giant squid, but fantasy is much more popular. So here's his version of what it would look like attacking those ships. Hence why Bill and I brought the jalapeno poppers. It's supposed to be like ships with the Kraken around it.
Okay.
Yeah, right on.
Very
Okay.
good.
So let's flash back to ancient times. The Greek philosopher Aristotle, in his work, The History of Animals, distinguished between the common squid, Teuthus, and its larger cousin, which could reach a length of 2.3 meters. And the Roman naturalist Pliny the Elder, in his work Natural History, described the giant squid with tentacles reaching 9.1 meters and a body as big as a barrel. The 13th century Icelandic story Saga of Orvar Otter describes two sea monsters similar to the Kraken in size, which also attack ships. Lindbacher, the sea mist. This is the monster that was so large it pretended to be an island, and that's what this is under the ship. So big that when sailors disembarked on its back, it would sink into the depths, taking the entire crew down with it.
Oh, wow.
And then the other monster that in this story is called a Hofguffa, or a heatherback, and it was the creature that gave rise to all the beasts of the ocean. And these two monsters were both considered to be referencing the same monster, the Kraken.
Yes, absolutely.
So this is
I
the
believe.
Carta Marina, and you can't see it as well here, but if you blew it up, you could see different sea creatures. In 1539, the Swedish writer, cartographer, and Catholic clergyman Olaus Magnus, in 1490 to 1557, created the Carta Marina, and this was a marine map and description of the northern islands, or northern lands, and was the first map of the Nordic countries to give details and place names. In addition to cartographic sources, he relied on descriptions of sailors and his own observations. In 1555, Olaus Magnus wrote the Historia de Gentibus Septentrionibus. Say that 3
Well
times.
done, well done.
Wait, yeah.
A description of the northern peoples. It gets better if you drink more. Which is a work about the history and folklore of the northern people, and was long considered by the Europeans to be the authority of all Swedish matters. This work included descriptions of the violent currents and about beasts and monsters of the sea. Hence, again, all the folklore and the monsters. He detailed the Kraken as a monstrous fish with sharp horns, huge red eyes, and hairs like goose feathers, thick and long, like a beard hanging down, and that those monsters could easily take down a ship.
Huh.
All right.
I'm glad I wasn't an early explorer. Would be
Hey, babe.
horrifying, wouldn't it?
Why did the Kraken break up with its girlfriend?
I don't know.
Because she couldn't handle all the clean.
So that was somewhat clear, but not to say what the line was at the end.
Uh-huh.
What was the punchline?
She couldn't handle.
She couldn't handle all the cling.
Okay.
Cling. Cling.
It's amazing what Chat GPT will do.
What's GP?
Until the beginning of the 18th century, the lines between science and myth were blurred, but eventually gave way to this monster being recognized as what we know today as the giant squid. And this is a depiction of by Pierre Denis de Montfort. In 1735, the Swedish biologist, physician, and man known as the father of modern taxonomy, Carl Linnaeus, from 1707 to 1778, wrote his first edition of Systema Naturae, which classified all known organisms. He classified the Kraken with the scientific name Microcosmus marinus. He described the Kraken as a unique monster which inhabits the seas of Norway, though he admitted that he had never actually seen this animal himself.
Okay.
And this is the Bishop
Eric.
Eric, yes. And he, in 1752, known for more than his cute collars and fluffy white hair, the bishop, in his work, The Natural History of Norway, describes the Kraken as the largest sea monster in the world, round, flat, and full of arms and branches. These monsters were often mistaken for mountains and floating islands, sort of harkens back to that picture I shared earlier.
Yeah.
Can pull down the largest ships, adding that when the monster sinks, a whirlpool is created, pulling down the ship and everything with it.
Jeez, yeah. It happens.
So this is the French ship Alecton. In 1853, a Norwegian naturalist and Copenhagen University professor, Japetus Stristrup, found a giant cephalopod washed up on a Danish beach, took its beak, and scientifically described the giant squid as Architeuthis dux, a name officially published in 1857. In 1861, while sailing in the Canary Islands, the crew of the French ship Alecton caught a rare sighting of the giant squid and attempted to capture it, but could only recover a portion of its tail. So here's the illustration of that. So on the right is the first photo of the giant squid. It's 1874. And then that is skin from a sperm whale that shows the squid tentacles on it, the imprints. The largest recorded giant squid reaches about 59 feet in length, which include the long pair of tentacles. Its eyes are the largest in the animal kingdom, and these squid inhabit depths up to 1,100 to 2,000 meters deep. It's a strong and powerful swimmer and hunter, but does have a predator, the sperm whale. And this was a giant squid on a beach in 1954.
Yeah, not that big. But pretty big. I wouldn't want.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Kraken.
Kracken who?
I'll crack in your door if you don't let me in. Okay, it doesn't get better than that, okay?
I was glad I was a bathroom.
You never know. Okay, so the influence of Kraken in art and literature.
Oh
So Alfred Lloyd Tennyson actually wrote a poem about it. We also see Victor Hugo's 1866 novel, Toilers of the Sea, Jules Verne's 1870 book, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Many DC and Marvel comics, including Adventures into the Unknown, Angry Fairy, Broken Moon, Legends of the Deep, and the Green Hornet in 1966 meets the Spirit. Sports, the NHL team, the Seattle Kraken. And then in movies, of course, The Clash of the Titans, the 1906 silent film Under the Seas, and Hotel Transylvania, the third edition, summer vacation. How do you get this down? Oh, sorry. And then, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and At World's End. So what does the future hold for the Kraken? what areas of life could the Kraken really do well? Well, here's a few ideas I have. Okay, we've got transportation, helping that area of life. They could probably do pretty well. Probably make it a lot faster than some of our systems now.
They move fast through the water.
Tourism.
Where in the
Ecotourism
world
trips.
Did you make these?
Chat GPT. Chat GPT. And then, of course, entertainment and food service. I mean, think of how fast their drinks could be made. That many
They could be
cars.
working
I
8
mean,
people at once.
seriously.
There you go.
Okay.
With the drink.
Hey babe, a kraken, a mermaid, and a sea turtle walk into a bar. The bartender looks up and says, "What is this, some kind of a deep sea joke?" The kraken slams a tentacle on the counter and says, "No, but we're about to dive into some drinks." Cheers, Riley.
That's awesome.
I guess I did do something for this. I forgot all
Very-
that. I completely forgot
Very
all
well
these.
played. Well, I'm
Very
sure
great
a good
canvas,
Kraken bartender worth his weight will recommend his favorite rum. And with that in mind, there are actually, you can go to the Kraken rum site and find all kinds of cocktails, but what we're gonna try today is the Kraken rum punch. So it'll be
Ooh.
served soon.
Oh shoot, I've been drinking my beer right along.
And that is-
Should've
that's
had-
Don't worry,
all I
that's
got.
on the camera than you do, so.
I don't know how to end